History is a beautiful lie we tell ourselves every night.
We start with France's most misunderstood diva, the Queen.
Marie Antoinette's biggest myth is one line about baking. The story goes, she was told the people had no bread.
And like a true noble, she offered up a culinary insult.
Her infamous response was, "Let them eat that fancy cake!"
Nothing says out of touch like suggesting pastry for famine.
But here's the grotesque truth. She never said those words.
The phrase was ancient, a placeholder for rich, clueless jerks.
It became the perfect fuel for a public hungry for blood. They didn't need the truth, just the perfect villain.
As if that wasn't bad enough, she was executed for it.
The myth became her true final form, a monster of privilege. The real phrase was much older, from a Spanish princess.
It just shows the true power of a catchy political slogan. Because apparently you don't need evidence, just a good story.
Nothing says historical accuracy like 1,000 angry mouths.
Speaking of lies, let's talk about America's founding father. The myth of Washington's wooden teeth is deeply embedded. Imagine the splinter pain and the sheer amount of saliva.
The truth is, he suffered through much worse than wood, though.
Starvation for a few teeth forced him to acquire others.
Because apparently he bought human teeth from his own slaves. As if that wasn't bad enough, his mouth was also a zoo. Those stiff springs meant his jaws snapped shut like a trap. Imagine trying to give your inaugural speech with those. It was a grotesque menagerie of stolen life. That poor man had teeth from 4 different kinds of beast. Nothing says freedom like a mouth made of slaves' molars. The wooden look came from the ivory soaking in port wine.
The myth endured because it made him seem more human.
It's more comforting to think he just had bad lumber.
Nothing says heroic image like a mouthful of dead beast.
Now let's sail to the freezing north for some brutal Vikings. Every single school play costume told us they wore horns.
Imagine a full battle charging through the forest under those.
The sheer impracticality of that headgear is the punchline.
The trigger for the myth was an opera designer's decision.
The stage needed drama, so they slapped some deer horns on.
As if that wasn't bad enough, the Vikings were quite clear.
The only horns were for priests and their ritual dancing.
It became the ultimate symbol of the wrong kind of tough. The myth became real in the minds of the next few hundred years.
But seriously, who puts giant horns on a combat helmet?
Archaeologists only found one Viking helmet, and it was bare.
The entire look is a 150-year-old marketing fail.
It's much less awkward to just admit they were bald.
Because apparently you can't be a brute without a hat full of antlers.
Speaking of things that never existed, let's get medieval.
The chastity belt is the grossest product of the Dark Ages. As if that wasn't bad enough, the whole idea is a fake. The concept was a Renaissance joke on jealous medieval husbands. It gained popularity when Victorians invented fake torture. A story that sells is worth more than the facts. The real horror is that it was simply a tool of Victorian sleaze. The chastity belt became the monster of historical exaggeration.
It's just another reminder to question the things you read.
Because apparently all of history is a ridiculous horror show.
As always, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, farewell.